Welcome, dear listeners, to a quiet evening of wanderings. Imagine the faint rustle of parchment as we turn to a weathered journal that tells the story of the Silk Road, that ancient ribbon of trade stretching from the gardens of China to the marble streets of Rome. In the hush of candlelight, we shall walk beside caravans of silk and spice, feel the soft sway of camel backs across endless dunes, and hear the distant hum of countless tongues sharing hope and curiosity. Let the gentle cadence of this tale guide you into a world where every step was an invitation to learn, to exchange, to dream. Our tale begins in the wild years of the 2nd century BCE, when a curious envoy named Zhang Qian ventured beyond his empire's borders. He trekked across rugged valleys, seeking allies against distant rivals. His journeys opened a fragile path, a thread that soon widened into a bustling highway of exchange. Picture the first caravans, laden with jade and tea, slipping through hidden passes, their silhouettes illuminated by the soft glow of early dawn. Each step they took whispered a promise that distant lands, once strangers, could become neighbors through the rhythm of trade and the gentle murmur of curiosity. Soon, the path blossomed into a living tapestry of peoples and goods. In the shelter of night, merchants from distant realms exchanged stories as easily as they traded silk for amber, spices for precious stones. Imagine the warm glow of lanterns reflecting on smooth silks, the soft clink of bronze coins, and the gentle laughter of strangers becoming companions. From distant Persia to the far reaches of India, each traveler carried a piece of home, weaving it into a greater whole. The road was not merely a trail of sand, but a river of ideas, gently flowing through the hearts of those who dared to journey. Beyond the hills lay the great Taklamakan, a sea of dunes that whispered both promise and peril. Here, camels bore heavy loads of silk, porcelain, and fragrant spices, their padded feet sinking into warm sand with each patient step. Picture the sun rising, painting the dunes in gentle rose hues, as the caravan moves like a slow, measured heartbeat across the endless plain. The desert sang a quiet song of perseverance, of patience, of the soft sigh of wind through endless grains, reminding each traveler that the journey itself held a quiet, steady grace, a rhythm that steadied the soul. Further ahead, the road rose to meet the towering Pamir passes, where snow-kissed peaks watched over weary travelers. The air grew crisp, and each breath became a soft cloud, rising like a quiet hymn. Imagine a lone merchant, cloaked in warm furs, careful step by cautious step, the path narrowing beneath craggy stones. The mountains seemed to hold their breath, offering safe passage to those who respected their grandeur. In this high realm, the clatter of hooves gave way to a hushed reverence, a reminder that the Silk Road was not only a route of commerce but a pilgrimage through nature's own cathedral. At last, the caravan reached the great cities that glittered like jewels on the desert's edge. Samarkand, with its sun-kissed mosaics and fragrant bazaars, welcomed travelers with open arches and the soft rustle of silken canopies. Picture lanterns swaying gently above bustling stalls, where spices perfumed the air and the hum of conversation flowed like a quiet river. Here, scholars whispered verses of poetry, artisans crafted delicate ceramics, and merchants shared tales of distant lands over cups of sweet tea. The city breathed a calm confidence, a place where the road's many threads converged, creating a tapestry rich with color, sound, and timeless wonder. Beyond the clang of coins, the Silk Road carried the softer treasures of thought and belief. In dimly lit courtyards, Buddhist monks, Zoroastrian priests, and Christian scribes exchanged ideas as gently as they shared tea. Imagine the soft scratch of a reed pen on parchment, the faint scent of incense rising in the night air. Through these exchanges, mathematics, astronomy, and poetry traveled across borders, planting seeds that would later bloom into great discoveries. Each whispered lesson, each shared story, became a quiet lantern guiding generations toward understanding, reminding us that the most enduring cargo of any journey is the knowledge we carry within. Allow me now to linger on the story of one traveler, Li Wei, a humble merchant from the valleys of Luyang. He loaded his camel with fine silk and delicate porcelain, his heart carrying the hope of his family back home. As he moved from town to town, Li Wei listened to the songs of nomads, learned the recipes of distant kitchens, and collected tiny trinkets that told stories of distant suns. Picture his gentle smile as he uncorked a fragrant bottle of frankincense in a caravan camp, letting its scent mingle with the night breeze. His journey, though modest, became a thread woven into the grand tapestry of the road, embodying the quiet courage of countless travelers. After years of patient travel, Li Wei's caravan finally brushed the marble walls of Constantinople, the gateway between East and West. The city glowed in a soft sunrise, its domes catching the first light like quiet promises. As his camels lowered their loads, a gentle murmur rose from the bustling harbor, a chorus of languages, the clink of bronze, the sigh of waves against stone. Li Wei stood at the water's edge, his eyes reflecting the horizon, feeling both the weight of his journey and the lightness of arrival. In that moment, the ancient road seemed to exhale, its story reaching a tender crescendo, reminding us that every path, no matter how long, ends with a quiet peace. Yet as the centuries waned, new breezes began to stir across the seas. Ships with billowing sails slipped silently over the waves, offering a faster, gentler path for goods once trudged across deserts. The ancient overland route dimmed, its caravans growing fewer, its songs whispered more softly in the night. Picture the quiet jettison of a camel's saddle, the soft sigh of a market stall closing as merchants turned their gaze toward the gleaming horizon. Though the road's hum faded, its echo lingered in the art, the flavors, the stories that had been carried across the dunes, now settling into the hearts of new generations. Today, the Silk Road lives on in subtle, fragrant ways. A pinch of cumin on a winter stew, a ribbon of silk draped across a mantle, the echo of a distant lute in a tea house, all are quiet reminders of an age when strangers shared more than merchandise. Imagine the gentle clink of a spoon against a porcelain bowl, the soft rustle of silk as it unfurls, each moment a tender thread that ties present to past. The legacy of that ancient pathway is not a grand monument, but a series of soft, familiar sensations that continue to whisper across time, inviting us to pause, reflect, and savor the richness of shared humanity. And so, dear friends, as the night settles over the endless dunes, we let the whispers of the Silk Road drift into the quiet of our own hearts. May these gentle stories remind us that every step we take, however modest, carries the promise of connection, of shared wonder. In the soft glow of memory, we find comfort, like the warm embers of a fire that never truly fades. Let us close our eyes, breathe in the scent of distant spices, and carry the serenity of ancient journeys into our own everyday paths. Until next time, may your evenings be as soothing as the road itself.